Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request into designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so we have this residential outdoor shop area, and you can see here there's a extended patio on the outside edge over here. Let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. So overall dimensions I have, let's see if we can get in here a little closer. So we have about 30 feet, 3 3/4 of an inch from post to post. You can see that there's also several other dimensions here. We got 5'10", we got 6'10 1/4, 5'10", and 6'7". That's to inside or from one edge to the other edge of each post. We also have a height here of about 8'9" to the top of the structure here, or I should say the ceiling area. Also, the top of the structure I have at 12. I'm not quite sure if that's exactly the right height, but it shouldn't be a big issue over there. Also, this section here is 5'10.5". That could be a little bit further out. Over here we have 20 feet, and over here we have 10 foot, and I have it at 3/4, so it might be off just 3/4 of an inch, but let's go ahead and check to see what we could do to keep this area warm during those colder months. All right, so let me turn that off and look at a couple of different options. So here you can see I have the open beam of this patio. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to be open or not, but let's go ahead and look at what we would do for this particular style, and that would be to place the CD 6024, or it could be a WD 6024. I just personally like the CD model a little bit better, just because of the appearance. You know, it's got this kind of like a half moon shape top to it. The other one is more angular. So in any case, these are 6,000 watt 240 volts, and it is required that, now let's go over here. It is required that you keep a minimum of 6 inches of clearance above the heater itself. So here's the clearances above, so 6 inches from this edge all the way up, as well as all the way around the heater itself. So on all 4 sides and on the top, 6 inches of clearance. Also, the bottom edge of the heater needs to maintain 18 inches. So here's the clearance below, so that would be 18 inches from the edge of the heater out all the way down, 36 inches down, and on all 4 sides as well. All right, so you can see here that the clearances are all met. I did move the units around so that we can, keep the distance on the heaters kind of similar. However, watch out for the actual, I'll call them rafters here, ceiling joists maybe. But in any case, you can see that we have those heaters here. Let's go ahead and look at the distance that I have so you can have that information. So from here to this point here, we have that at 9 feet, and I believe that should be the same here. Whoops, here to here, 9 feet. And then over here, I have this one here slightly less than that 9 feet because of the fact that we do have this edge out here, and I'm still trying to heat up this outer edge over here. It is centered within the span from the post to the wall, and then here is similar, centered from the, I'll call this the ceiling rafter here, or ceiling joist, to this post over here, and it's centered, actually I should say it's same distance as this heater here is to this one over here. I think that's about it as far as the dimensions are concerned. Let's put those off for a second and go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So the footprint of heat, you can see with a 6,000 watt unit at this elevation would heat up this area fairly decently. Now, you know, this is colder climates. Let's say it goes down into the, you know, below 50s and 40s. Some people will still appreciate it, and some will not at that, you know, lower temperature. So, but a 6,000 watt unit gives you a lot of flexibility to extend your season outdoors. So, but in any case, you can see that the footprint of heat is fairly decent, and I think you would appreciate this. Now, I'm not quite sure if the actual seating arrangement is something similar to this, but you can see if you are occupying this space over here, that unit is important, as well as you know, overall coverage for this whole space is really good. Now here, I'm not quite sure if this is going to be utilized at all. You can see there is a door. I believe the door swings in, so it shouldn't be an issue, but even if it swung out, the clearances below should still be met. I think we have somewhere in the nature of, you know, 2.5 feet over here. So I think that's about it for this particular application. Now let's say that there is a ceiling on this unit. So that would be something like this, and we would have to then move all the equipment down so that it is attached to the ceiling, something of this nature here. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. The heat will be a little bit more intense as because of the fact that it's closer to the seating position. Standing room, it would be probably too hot. So I want to go ahead and see what the height is here. If we looked at that, we could see that the height now is just at 8 feet. So 8 feet is probably a really good application height for this particular model in a colder climate. So I'm not, I don't feel bad about this type of application here. So I'd say this is still good. Now, you also may want to put duplex switches on each unit, or you can use a control zone where you might have this being these two units zone 1, these two being zone 2, and then possibly this being zone 3, or just eliminating this one unit if that's not necessary for that application. So let's go ahead and move this all back, turn off that ceiling, and then look at maybe a different possibility if that ceiling is there. So let's go ahead and do this, and then look at maybe using flush mount units, because I think the flush mount unit with a ceiling would look much better. So let's go ahead and put the new ceiling in, which would be just allowing for the units to be mounted flush with the ceiling itself. Now, if this is in fact a wooden ceiling like I show it here, that is considered a combustible item. The distance or the height of the units themselves have to be at the same elevation. So I would move this one down. Let's see if we can do that properly. And I'm just going to move it down to the same elevation as the bottom edge of the ceiling, so that all heaters match that elevation height. So that's very important if it's a combustible wooden ceiling, something of that nature. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the flush mount kit itself. So the flush mount kit itself would require a wooden frame that would fit around the flush mount kit, as well as the 1 hour fire rated drywall that would have to surround the unit itself in order to install this properly. So you have the heater itself, and let me go ahead and turn off the ray for a second. You have the heater, you have the flush mount kit, you have the 1 hour rated drywall that your installer would provide, and then you would have to have a frame built out of you know, most likely a 2x8, so that you can attach the flush mount frame to the structure. So that would be the frame itself would attach to the wooden structure, something similar to this. So let's go ahead and turn that back on as far as the ceiling is concerned, and look at that footprint of heat. Again, it's a very similar as the other one. These are the same basic units. These are going to be WD units in the flush mount kit. And again, you would probably want to have a control system so that you can change the amount of output per unit depending on what type of outdoor temperatures there are during the different seasons. So these are also placed in the same position as I mentioned before, and yeah, I think this would be a very good application. Now obviously this is a entry exit point here. You could, you know, obviously take that one out and just utilize these two, maybe even move this one slightly over. Like I said before, it was 6 and some inch distance apart, so you know, if we just went 2.5 feet over, you know, that's actually too far. So let's just go 1.5 feet and see how that looks. So that would be, you know, pretty decent like that. Or you could move, you know, both units over in order to heat up this space right here. So knowing what that usage of space is also would help in, you know, giving a better or more accurate plan for the application itself. You know, just to look here, you know, we can move both of these over. You know, this is right there is almost 2 feet itself, so we can almost go 2.5 feet. And you can see now that, you know, if this is the only space that we're heating up, then, you know, something like this would be better. You know, you got a nice crossover right here. And but in any case, knowing that information is valuable to making the most accurate recommendation for the seating position here. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetize. YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we really appreciate you guys doing that. It helps us so much. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.